I got the recording started, Susan.
Okay. Give it a minute, yeah. Why am I having trouble letting people in? There we go.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we could get started. This is January 8th, Content Managers Meeting. And our focus today is going to be on accessibility. We're going to talk about the deadline and what we need to do to make our websites and our documents and everything accessible. And then Jessica is going to have a Qualtrics update, and then we'll have questions and comments. So the ADA accessibility deadline is April 24th, and that's less than 3 months, well, a little more than 3 months away. So we all have to keep working hard to meet our accessibility goal by that date. And there's 3 parts to auditing your website content: our web applications, our documents, and the website itself. So web applications are out of scope for our team and today's meeting, but just so you know, if the state controls the look and feel, Alliant is giving those apps a high-level assessment, and that's in progress currently. So if the vendor controls the look and feel, then an ACR VPAT is required from the vendor. If you have any questions about the web apps, you can talk to your agency ETO or reach out to Natalie Sipes. Our documents, every document was provided an inventory. I'm sorry, every agency was provided an inventory of their documents. I'm sure that everyone's been working hard on those. You have 4 options for dealing with documents. You can remove or delete them. You can remediate them. You can turn a PDF into an HTML page instead, or you can archive. And only 7 out of our 49 agencies have used the archiving feature so far. One of them is the DX training site. And Shreen, I'm going to share now just to show how easy it is to archive a document.
It's going to turn into a bunch of wasted retail space.
Okay. So you can see the archive document link will end up in your footer if you have it. This is the DX training site, and you can see there's no archive document link here right now. So if I want to archive a document, I go find that document in my media library under media, and let's say I found it and it's this sample document. So now I go to this edit button over on the right-hand side, and it'll open the metadata for that document. So I scroll down under the file name here, and there's this little checkbox. This is an archive document. So I check that box and I save it. And that is all there is to archiving a document. Now, if I go back to the DX training site and refresh that page, you'll see I have an archive document link. It happens automatically. There isn't anything you have to do except go in your media library and archive those documents. Then when I click on that archive document link, I will see all this this text that we talked about will be added to every archive document page. And here's my sample document. And it tells me what kind of a document it is and that it's archived. Like I said, you don't have to do anything with these except click it to archive it in the media library. Okay, Shereen, you can go back to, I can stop sharing and you can share again. Now, there are 4 conditions that have to be met for a document to be archived. And you can read through these, and it's not one or the other or a couple. It has to be all four of these things need to be met for it to be an archive document. And that really means that it's not going to be changed in the future. If it would be changed, if you had to make an edit to it, you'd have to remediate it and post it on your website. When you archive a document, it will be listed on that archive document page. If that document is listed somewhere else, or is linked somewhere else on your website, it will not be removed. It won't move it anywhere in the media library. It'll just also add it to that archive documents page. You can go ahead, Shireen. Another option, remediate. Self-remediation is when your agency is going to remediate your documents themselves, or as you create documents now, you remediate them first before you post them. So each agency will be provided with common look licenses. It'll be a different amount for each agency depending on size. And that also includes a suite for Office and also to do the PDF remediation. Now, help with that, the MSF&W has office hours every week on Wednesdays at 9, and they will answer your questions or help you with problems you have. They have an enormous amount of recorded videos from their past trainings and office hours that you can view to help you with that. And those are all available on our YouTube channel. Then there's vendor remediation, and that would be that bulk documents were sent to Alliant for remediation. And if you need to do that, reach out to Natalie for more information. So our recommendation going forward is to make everything accessible now. Then you don't have to wonder which ones are and aren't. And since all content must be accessible by April 24th, if you just start now, always making sure your documents are accessible before you upload them and post them. So after April 24th, everything will have to be accessible. And your old content, then your options are archive or remediate. And the third one that I guess we kind of gloss over is our websites. And so to make sure your websites are accessible, all these things, the alt text and the captions and proper heading structure. I've noticed that some websites have text on images. That might be a good thing to change on some of the websites. Your videos need to have captions. This one too, make sure your web page is navigable with a keyboard. You can test that out. You don't need any special equipment for that one. You can basically go to your web page and tab your way through the page. Make sure it's tabbing to the links. Usually when you tab to a link, you just hit enter and it'll open that link, and just make sure that it makes sense on that it's tabbing and working for you. Accessible online forms is another item for your website, and Jessica will have more on Qualtrics forms later in the slides. And that footer link that was added to all websites for accessibility assistance, which opens a Qualtrics form and people can request accessible documents or other things, emails soon. That will be coming to your agencies directly soon. Right now, if you're getting a forward of an email from me, I'm still kind of wrangling those and trying to figure out where they should go, but that'll be coming to your agencies in the near future. And in your website content, the Drupal, these are all the things that help us with accessibility. Our Drupal with the editorially add-on, you all, I'm sure, have encountered this where you get the red notice or the little yellow notice for a warning on things that maybe need to be edited or looked at. The DX training website, we have lots of information on accessibility and all the links to those videos and training and errors, all that kind of thing. MSF&W training videos. And then we go to Acquia Optimize, which scans your websites and provides accessibility warnings and other website warnings. Shreen is going to show us about Acquia Optimize.
I don't know how to unmute myself. Hold on.
You're unmuted. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I added a slide in here. I don't know if it's the next one. Hold on. Let me see. Nope, it's Jessica's. Don't look at that. No, it's mine. Okay, well, you guys can look at this one. So with Acquia Optimize, we have documentation on our training, on the DX training site that I have linked here, just in case what I show you now just like falls out of your head. We got documentation on the DX training site. I have it linked to where I'll just go to like Acquia Optimized topics. So the stuff I'm about to say to you here now is also going to be available there and in this recording if you want to rewatch it. But any hoodle doodles, with Acquia Optimized, in order to like, hold on. Share this window. Did I do it? No, hold on. Share this window. Share. Is it sharing? Nuts. Hold on. That's
You're there.
Oh, I did.
Woo! Yep.
I did it. I'm smart. So, anyways, this is Acquia Optimize, and for you to the accessibility scan that I don't know why I was going to call you Dolores, Susan. I don't know. That's weird. Susan was talking about. It's right here. The accessibility. Now, I know there are some like little accessibility. Hold on, give it a second. There are some accessibility compliances that you might be like, hey, I can't do anything with the codes. It's saying, it's yelling at me out with the codes, or one of the flags is like bringing up, let me go to checklist. Hold on. Past checks. Here we go. Okay. Let me find an example. Hold on. Right here. So if it's like the iframe element has no empty accessible name, you guys can't really do anything about that. The dev team has already is going through and making sure that all of the flags that Moncito has, like with this kind of stuff, that they're just confirming that it's a false positive. So for you guys, if you guys see that and you're like, I can't do anything with the elements or iframe, what is that? So what I end up doing, you could just ignore the check or just hit review. And that's one of the ways that you can get through checking off your accessibility checks so that you can get your accessibility score to 100 so that you won't have to be anxious and worry oh my God, is it compliant? So there you go. You can use this scan. And then, oh wow, they haven't, I don't know about that one. The PDF compliance, I haven't looked up that one just yet. But yeah, and I think that, and then also the quality assurance for broken links. That also is where you can find, because the scan that we have going for our DX sites is done weekly. So you should get the people within the agency who updates the site should be getting Moncito reports. Load. Oh my God. Should be getting Moncito reports that tells you, hey, you have a broken link or your quality score is gone to is this, or my internet sucks. Well, anyways, it's going to show you in that tab button to where, that's where you can find your quality score. And it's not showing it for you guys now, but that's fine. I'm going to share. Oh, here it is. So right here, unique broken links, broken images, misspellings. You can click on those and then it'll show you a list of the links. And then here, I'll show you this. Nuts. I can't show you it because I already fixed them. But anyways, it'll show you the list of the links and then the pages that those links are on. So it's super duper helpful. And let me go back to my slide. Am I on it? Is it showing? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yes. So this slide, that's all the information I just shared with you about the accessibility scan and where to find your scan results, and also how to improve your accessibility score so that you can make sure your website is accessibly compliant, whatever that word is. Then those resources are also available on the DX training site. So I'm going to go to the next slide. I don't know who's next, though.
I think I'm next, but I would like, I'm going to ask a few questions here. Suzanne, I'm going to give this one. We have a few in the chat here. Melissa from IUC asking, if someone completes the accessibility assistance form found in the footer, where is the information going? Meaning, how does the agency know about the request? Can you recap that again, just briefly, about the accessibility form triage workflow?
Currently, I'm getting those accessibility assistance emails, and I'm sure some of you have gotten the forward from me. I try to, if it's the first time I'm sending you one, I try to tell you that, I try to explain this came to the accessibility assistance email box. Now, I will admit that not a lot of these are, they're not requesting an accessible document. People just click on it if they need help, but eventually these emails will just come directly to your agency. And if it doesn't apply to your agency and you think it applies to someone else, please forward it to that agency. We're just doing the best we can on that.
And I would like to add, we are working, if you haven't noticed, we've changed some of the wording to help with that, to alleviate the questions or the requests that don't apply to accessibility. There was another question, I believe. Maybe Shireen, maybe you could just add that and answer Colleen directly, because you're the Acquia optimized. So please look at the chat on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take over the screen. And I apologize, I do have a cold and nothing seems to want to come out correctly. So I'm out of my mouth today. So for those that don't know, I am the Qualtrics CX program manager. I'm going to kind of go over Qualtrics. The reason why is maybe you have a PDF form, you have a PDF fillable form, maybe you have another type of form. Qualtrics is Waypoint 2.1 accessible. So this is a great feature to maybe move off a PDF form if you choose to. This is not a requirement. This is just a tool in your tool set that you have. Qualtrics is available. It is an enterprise application that is available to all agencies. So just be aware of that. Some of you should already have access to Qualtrics regarding the DX platform. If you're an agency manager, you should already have access to Qualtrics. There are some of you on the call that probably doesn't have access and maybe like, why don't I have access? Well, we've just slowly launching this out further and further, and we're ready to say, if you want access, you can request access and we will provide you an onboarding email. So I'm going to kind of go over the resources that we have. I'm pretty proud that we have almost 20 plus resources already on the DX training website. So I just want to kind of show you that we're here to support you in all things. So again, we do have 20 plus resources that I'm going to show you where they're at on the DX website. We do offer bi-weekly office hours every Tuesday and Thursday to support you, live support from Qualtrics and the Qualtrics team. It's a great way to bring in your problem statement. We modeled that very similar to what Suzanne, Shireen, and Charles do right now. We also do model a similar concept. We buy monthly bulletins where we provide updates and tips. We do go the opposite week. The DX, so you're not bombarded. So this week you should get one from the DX. Next week you'll get one from Qualtrics because you guys are a similar audience. We also are piloting a one-to-one booking option where you can have personalized assistance. I work closely with the Qualtrics customer success manager, who then is my go-to of all tech things, right? And will ask the right questions and help design whatever you're trying to work with. Or you could be working with our brand admins and you need some more technical aspects. So we have a lot of ways to provide you that one-on-one support. This is really important. This is a new platform, a new tool. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so this is why I'm going to say worked really hard to provide you a plethora of resources. Also, if you do onboard, and this is the first time you are getting access, we do send you an onboarding email, and I'll give you a sneak peek of that. So we are trying to get you started on the right foot, on the right track. And so there's that. Where do you find Qualtrics on the DX website? You can find it on the digital services under Qualtrics. Nice job on the animation there, my friend. And then you can also find it, thanks to Suzanne putting that at the bottom. You do find it on the homepage under additional content manager resources. You'll find a link to the Qualtrics main navigation. Qualtrics is so much bigger than what I'm talking about today. I could talk hours and hours, but we do have a lot. Qualtrics is for employee engagement. Qualtrics is for DX, and Qualtrics is what we call CX. And that's a lot of X's, a lot of lanes, a lot of resources, a lot of content for you. But in regarding to forms and solutions and regarding accessibility, we kind of want to just focus on that lane right now. So if you do go to that Qualtrics homepage, you will find a Qualtrics main navigation, and then you'll see the different lanes that I'm referring to. We have the lane of CX and DX. CX is where I would say if you're building a form from a PDF version to a electronic form, this is where you would say the CX environment. If you are converting a Microsoft form into a Google or Microsoft form into another form, or maybe you're doing truly what CX is, constituent experience or customer experience, where you are, how are we doing? How can we make improvements? And the purpose of the CX or any of the DX is we're supposed to listen, understand, and act. Listen to the data, understand the data, and truly act on it. And that's what the sole framework of Qualtrics is. We just don't collect data and do nothing with it. We truly want to make improvements. And so that's partly the framework of Qualtrics altogether. So you can see there's many submenus as well. So go ahead. If you always go to Qualtrics, you're going to know how to navigate a DX website. I know you guys do. So just kind of reminding you what we have available out there and the DX content matrix that we have regarding Qualtrics, so you can quickly find things. So again, sticking on the CX environment where we're talking about PDF, again, I'm focusing on PDF because our today's topic is accessibility. We know it takes a lot to remediate a PDF. Maybe you do want to improve efficiency. This is where you can make it electronic and make a workflow off of it, send an email to each other. So this is kind of the concept. You can see under the CX, we have a plethora of resources there, such as a guide, how do you access, get started, branding and theming, how do you publish, how is the workflow, the different types of user types. So this would be a really great start. Find the main navigation and click away and look throughout the DX training site. Also, we want to focus on DX. DX is where we have the feedback tab. We have the DXA. Some of these words should not be new to you agency managers. We've been talking for a while now, but the feedback tab, the DXA, and all those things, that's DX related, digital experience, and things on how to improve our websites. We also have recently added new resources there thanks to the DX team, how to work with Qualtrics funnels, Qualtrics heat maps. I'm not going to focus much on that today because we're focusing on accessibility, but this does help us know how to make better websites. This also does tie into what Shireen talked about in Acquia Optimize, where Qualtrics does provide you how are things broken? Do you have broken links, and etc. We do know there are some false positives, and we're working on some of those things, but regardless, it's still giving you a session recording, so much information in there for you to make improvements on your website. So don't want to discount the DX right now. I just want to focus on the forms right now, but I do want to encourage you, if you haven't had a chance, to continue to look at the dashboards and the digital assist. There has been some major improvements, and so definitely take a moment. And just a friendly reminder, the DX side of the house is only to agency managers at this time. So the other thing that you can do is come join us on Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesdays are on Tuesday, surprisingly. And then it is from 10 to 10:30. I will say we last usually till 11. We do block it for an hour, but we are there from 10 to 10:30 for sure. And so come join us. It is, some people do exactly sit in and retain what the questions are being asked, and sometimes people come in there to get questions. If there is no questions, we'll do a demo because we know we are still learning and still very evergreen process. The other thing is you can come visit us on Thursday if afternoons work better for you, 1 to 3:30. I'm going to be honest, I've already been asked if we could change these office hours. It's just hard, right? I cannot meet everybody's schedule. However, we have heard you. We have another option for you if these two times do not work. However, we do have also a plethora of resources on our website. We do have a bi-monthly newsletter. I do post them on the website. So when you do onboard, you automatically get subscribed to the Qualtrics bulletins. It is my job to communicate effectively, and the best way to do that is through GovDelivery, and I do a bi-weekly comm. in the start of the year 2026. Prior to that, I was doing mostly a weekly, but that is where we will keep you posted of all things. So make sure you check out the past Qualtrics bulletins if you haven't done so, and go from there. Going back to the problem statement regarding Tuesdays and Thursdays do not work for everybody. Also, there's just times that you need one-on-one attention. Maybe you're trying to design a survey or form and you just don't even know where to begin. We want to provide that service. And so we do have a blocked hour of every Monday and Wednesday, I believe, are the days. I can't remember what we did, but you'll find it. We have a booking me page, which actually automatically books a time with me. Yeah, who wants to spend more time with me? But Hunter, the Qualtrics customer success manager as well. And we will work through it. Either it's a survey design, maybe you don't understand what this is. So again, an opportunity. We piloted it in the month of January. So far, it's been very successful. So we'll probably continue it. More to come. But we will be using that booking page. You will be asked a few questions, so we're not going in there blindly. So we have some idea of what we're going to be discussing. But that is an option. If this is a true troubleshooting or maybe something's broken, I wouldn't recommend this particular time slot. I'd ask you to do it through Service Desk Plus. But if this is more of a strategy question or how can we use XYZ, what's the best for this? Or maybe it is a true technical, really technical aspect, that is an opportunity for you as well. Also, if you, again, there are many of you on this call, most of you are agency managers and already have access to Qualtrics. However, I don't want to discount those that do not have access. Please go ahead and submit a Qualtrics Service Desk Plus ticket, and we will get you access, and you will get a copy of the following onboarding email to get you started. So the other thing I want to just kind of mention, you don't know where to start, right? So one thing I want to mention is there are many already real examples of uses of Qualtrics out in our environment. iGov was one of the first ones. We replaced 4 Microsoft forms. Those key wins were to make sure that we have matching branding and guidelines. We know in the governor's office, branding is very important. So it does match the look and feel of our DX websites. It does match the accessibility standards of, again, 2.1, which is huge. So that's good. We've resolved an urgent rebuild promptly because 2 of the Microsoft forms were broken. And also we streamlined the processes and graded efficiency by doing a closed loop system and providing a secure environment. So other use cases that maybe you're like, I don't even know how to get started. I'm sure the biggest problem statement you have is that you don't have enough time. However, it might provide you more time if you do move it and have a better rate of efficiency. So some things to think about: scheduling requests, application forms, intake forms, converting a fillable PDF to an online, replacing a Google to a Microsoft. So those are really kind of easy ones. Don't start with the biggest build. That's never a good idea. But maybe start with one that just can get something off something that you can find more efficiency. So there's just some things to think about. And this is an example on the onboarding email. We do have one thing I forgot to show. We do have 3 playlists already on our YouTube website. So we have at least several YouTube videos already out there. We had 4 days of training. You can find that all here on the demand training page. So it does take some time to get something started, but I do think you will find it very efficient, very fun. And again, this is a kind of piggybacks off the accessibility because this is a great tool since it is 2.1. It is very mobile friendly. It is very accessible. It matches our branding and theming. We worked really hard to match the same DX. And even for those that are on the DX marketing sites, we have those theming as well in conjunction of working with Lullabot. So I know I rambled fast. I don't talk slow, even when I'm all stuffy, but I hope this helps. Like, this is a huge opportunity just to kind of let you know you are paying for this as a enterprise solution. You might as well be using it. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. But I do ask you that you just get access and get your hands dirty. That's the best way. You will find it's very intuitive. It is a very self-service model. Again, we do have a review and approval process. So I don't want you to think, why am I getting this request to publish? We do have a review and approval process to provide transparency to the agencies. So you just don't automatically get to publish and go do great things. You do get to do great things, but you do have to go through a review process. And then this is also where we are using this review and approval process to provide you training. You don't know what you don't know. This is a new tool. And so we want to make sure that we have a comprehensive full package review process where we want to provide you some guidance. We want to provide you some tips on accessibility is one of the hot topics. You can still break things, guys. Just if you don't put an alt image text on an image in Qualtrics, you're no longer accessible. So there's things that we're trying to check, right? Qualtrics does have a what we call an expert review, and it provides you a lot of ways to know, are you compliant? I'm sure I got kicked out. Let me see if I did. I'm sure I did. But I'll give you a quick look of it. I'm not going to give you a training, guys, but I do want to provide you some visualization. Again, focusing on accessibility. What we have here, just to kind of show you in our expert review in Qualtrics, again, focusing on accessibility, you can see that this survey matches 2.1. However, if you put an alt image without the alt text, I'm sorry, if you put an image without the alt text, you kind of broke it, right? So there are things that we do want to make sure you check, and we do have a resource for you to kind of make sure you check some of those balances, check some of those items. But in reality, you'll see that it is very intuitive. You have a survey builder, you have all sorts of things. You can preview it before you publish. There's just a lot of things in here, but it does make it electronic. It does provide the same look and feel that we want for the DX websites, and so much more. So with that, I'm going to stop talking and stop sharing. Is there any questions that you have for me? Yes, Emily.
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. Do you recommend that we convert, like we have some seamless forms. Do you recommend that those be converted into Qualtrics?
That is a preference or a choice.
Okay.
I want to make sure, thank you for bringing that up. We're not here to tell you you have to, like, that's not it. Seamless does have the e-payment feature. Qualtrics does not at this time. So definitely that is a no-go for any e-payment solution right now. So I know there's some of you on here for that. But if it is more intuitive for you and you find that you're frustrated or something, I don't know. It's really up to you. It's your flavor or choice. There is no directive from leadership in any state or form on that. But if you want to, like, I'm really interested, then go for it and do great things. That's how I would answer that question, Emily. That's
okay. Yeah. No, that's good to know. I can think of a few that maybe have potential. And I know I attended the survey training, but obviously I haven't been in to play with it yet. The thing that we like about Seamless is that there's that back end integration where people can mark kind of as they go through the process of different workflows, and Qualtrics has kind of that functionality too as well, right?
Yep. It does
Okay.
have an intuitive workflow, so you can do option one. An easier workflow, I'd say, is like send yourself an email that something came in, right? That's an easy workflow. But it also has what we call a closed loop system. I didn't show that today, but that is where you can track it in a system. We're going to actually use that for the accessibility form that's on the bottom of the footer, but that is where you can actually track this. Where did it go? Right? Or yes,
Right.
yeah, I processed that. And that kind of goes back to Qualtrics motto and framework, right? We listen to the data, we understand the data, and we act on it. A lot of us do that, but we take it to our email and we don't know if we truly close that loop, right?
Okay. Yep. That's good to
Make
know.
sense?
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Great question. Again, just get your hands dirty, right? I think it's a good use case. Start small. I always say start small, and then you learn how to rinse and repeat. But I do want you to lean on us to help and support you, because I do think our goal, I don't know, I'm setting higher standards in the sense we do want to make great surveys. We work so hard on the DX. You know, I'm very passionate on the DX because that was my role for so long. But we have such a good look and feel. We have so much of that within our DX platform. And that's why we worked really hard on the theming and the branding to make it look like you're on a DX website. And also you can actually embed a Qualtrics form inside the DX platform. So we have worked in conjunction a lot with Lullabot and some of these things to look ahead, look in the future. I'm not saying embedding is always the best option. I truly don't think that, but I do know sometimes we want that embedded. So we have that option as well if you did not know that. So anything else for me regarding Qualtrics? All right, back to you, Shireen. Or whoever's up next. I'm sorry, I don't know
who's up next. I'll go ahead and just start rambling. Just to remind you guys, the accessibility training resources, that's where you can find it on the DX training site where my green arrow is pointing at. You can find the accessibility training recordings that MSFW did. So if you want to like learn how to remediate a PDF and stuff, that's available there in the accessibility training button. And then if you want other accessibility resources, just click the accessibility resources button that's underneath the accessibility exclusivity. Or you guys can just click these links right here that we have in this slide that we'll share with you. And it's also available on our YouTube playlist as well, right here. And then here's the Qualtrics, the links to the Qualtrics YouTube playlist as well that Jessica was talking about. And if you need help, here's the link to is this the same link that goes to the thing? I thought it was support.iowa.gov. Susan, which one? Was it support.iowa? No?
Oh, that one will work.
Okay, yeah, so this one will work. So if you need help with something, you've broken something, or you're confused about everything, go ahead and send us a support ticket and we can, help you or just be confused with you and figure out an answer. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. 1. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I had a question from earlier when Susan, you were talking about archiving documents. Just so I understand, we have a web page. It's the Customer Council, and it has minutes and reports and different things that we want to keep on the live site, but they won't ever be changed. They're fixed. Can that be archived, or does it have to be remediated?
No, absolutely. As long as they're up until April 24th, you can just archive those. If obviously, I mean, what you're describing is never going to change. Let's say you find a typo in there or something, and you have to go in and change something. If you changed it after April 24th, you'd have to go back and remediate it. But for the kind of documents you're talking about, those are the perfect type of documents, letters, that kind of thing. Past decisions on different things, those kind of things are never going to change, and you can just archive those. Now, if you have this is just a little tip. If you have, like, let's say agendas. Let's say you have all your agendas, and in Drupal, you've tagged all those agendas with a topic or a keyword of agendas. If you go into your library, your content library and your media library, and you search for all those with that term of agenda, and your results are all PDFs that you want to archive, you can just go down the line and click them. And then at the bottom, there's a button for archive these documents. So you can do, a lot of them at once if you want to do that.
Okay, that's really good to know, because we were, or maybe just I was the only one that was confused, but I thought that if it was a live link on the website, it had to be remediated. But you're saying that anything that's done prior to that April deadline can be archived.
Yes, and if it's a live link, and you're going to keep it there, but it's an old document that's never going to change. Like I said, it has to meet those all 4 of those criteria. Then you can archive it and leave the live link there. But all your archive documents, then the requirement is that they be, I can't remember the exact wording. They have to be in a separate area of your website and marked as such. So that's why it will automatically put a link to that document in the archive documents page that it will automatically create for you when you do the first one.
Okay, so it'll essentially live in 2 spots, on the live
Yes.
site and the archive section as well.
Right, right.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome.
would you mind, I don't want to take up everybody's time, but could I ask you another more specific question after this meeting?
Absolutely.
It wouldn't pertain to anybody else. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Should I count again, or should I let Susan? You want to close, or what you want me to
Any more questions?
do?
Don't hesitate to ask.
There's a question in the chat that I didn't get to. I just want to clarify. All agency managers do have access to Qualtrics on the DX side of things. So the dashboards and the digital assist, you definitely have access if that's your assigned as an agency manager. If you want access to create surveys or make those types of things, then I would ask. If you're not an agency manager, you probably don't have access, is what I'm trying to say. You might have been asked to come to the demos and other things. You might have been involved in Qualtrics before, but if you don't have access, you do not see the tile within login.iowa.gov, then I would request access. Some of you may also fall in the bucket, I haven't logged in for about 60 days. You're probably disabled. That's the security measure we have. So again, log in. You get the disabled, you need to submit a Service Desk Plus ticket and we'll re-enable you. So those are things that, again, are on our website, how to access. If you don't have access, submit a ticket, etc. So go from there. So I'm just going to clarify that question. Yeah, we can do the 6-second countdown, but is there any other questions for, I'm going to give it another second, Shereen. I think 6 is better, even 7.
And as we said, any questions, don't hesitate to, put in a Service Desk Plus ticket or ask, just email, whatever you need to do, ask us. We're happy to answer and help. I think that's it. I appreciate y'all coming today, and we'll have a link to this on the DX training site to this meeting recording as well. Thank you. Oh, there's another. Is that a question or is that Courtney?
No, that's they're saying thank you.
Susan. Oh, okay. Susan, I'll stay on.
Thank you.